What's going on, y'all?
What's going on?
It's Phil.
It's Alvin.
And we are the Tondereau twins, as most of our network knows, but for those that don't know, we're the Tondereau twins. Topic of discussion today is obviously the film that is taking the world by storm, Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Before we get the conversation started, you know what I'm saying? Gotta get it popping, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's a big thing going around for everybody right now. Hope everybody else is doing it around. It's kind of cool. Like, now that the movie's come out, a lot of people have seen it. You know, you're starting to see everyone kind of come together more on that, and I don't know, it's really a blessing to see that. For the record, we will be talking about the movie. Shout out to Kyle.
Shout out to Kyle. I know he's already saw it.
Yeah, and just throwing it out there. There is a spoiler alert. We will be talking about this movie. If you didn't see it, whatever, we're going to talk about it. Cut it off now. If you haven't seen the movie, it's on the caption, so if you don't want to hear about it, just get out now, because we're going to talk about it. So.
Yeah, that's definitely a disclaimer.
Yeah.
We have already seen the movie twice, obviously helping the movie do so well like everybody else is. I'm pretty sure the movie's going to hit $1 billion. We're already at 700 million worldwide in the second weekend. I think it's made over 101 million. Shout out to Kyle. It's already made 101 million on its second weekend, sophomore weekend, like they say in film. Yeah. So that's the best second weekend opening ever. So it's good. But getting into the film, obviously we've been T'Challa fans for a long time. You know, the King of Wakanda. I love the fact that the film, it's living up to the hype, man. People have been talking about this movie for years, man. A lot of people have been sleeping on T'Challa and Wakanda and the Black Panther becoming a vital part of the Avengers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I love the film because it was hyped up and everything came together like magic, man. I'm talking, you know, Chadwick linking up with Ryan Coogler. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Coogler already did a good film with Creed. Fruitvale Station with Michael B. Jordan. Then I remember when they was hyping it up, when they said Lupita Nyong'o was going to hop on the film. Then they said Forrest Whitaker was getting on there, Angela Bassett. I mean, every year, every couple of months, it was always saying somebody else was joining. So I knew the movie was going to be dope, man. I'm glad the fact that they gave a $200 million budget, Marvel Studios and Disney did, to Ryan Coogler. If you look at his rap sheet, the brother only got like 3 films, man. But they've given him a little bit of money and he's always returned it tenfold. So they said, hey, let's take a risk with this guy, or Chance. And I mean, he sealed the deal. You know, his career is set, just like all the other actors. And I think it's a big deal that the film's doing well too, because what Ryan Coogler has done is opened up a lot of doors for people of color in the production and screenwriting sector of film. And now big budget studios are going to give more chances of big budgets to people of color, man. I mean, he's really opened a lot of doors. He's increased the ceiling and floor for us. And so, you know, I think that's something that definitely has to be, admired and acknowledged. What you think, bro?
It was an amazing movie. I think they delivered on like every aspect that I could think of. It was weird. I had like chills like the whole movie. I don't know. Just watching it, I don't know why. It just felt like this really kind of like surreal kind of. I don't know. I just couldn't believe that, like what I was watching at that point. Just all the scenes, like even the waterfall scene when he first comes out and everyone's in the garb and they're making the chant and everything. It was so special. Just seeing the cast come together and just even after the movie, like, you know, just the way it brought a lot of us together, opened up a lot of people's eyes. You know, I'm seeing posts and people talking about how now you got, you know, Black kids growing up now, and now like they're asking questions about Africa. They want to go to Africa and see these places after they've depicted it so well. They tied in so many different cultures to the Wakanda kind of timeline and everything, and it was just beautifully made. I'm just happy to see it doing so well. They went all in on the budget, went all in on Coogler. He delivered. They all delivered. I couldn't be happier with the film. I'm just excited to see where it goes from here. And it was cool. I don't know. You want to get into the story now?
Let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Yeah,
I love the fact that they chose Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. I think he did an excellent job. The brother has been killing it in a lot of roles, actually depicting, controversial and vital black figures in black history. And I think they did a good job selecting him as the point man as T'Challa. I think he did a great job. I don't know. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't really know any other actors that probably could have came in and done the job he did. If anybody else would rather have seen another person
I'm
play
curious.
T'Challa.
Yeah, exactly. Who do you all think could have played it? I mean, it doesn't have to really be as well. I mean, he did his thing already, but who did you think could have been a good fit for T'Challa? Or honestly, any of the characters.
Yeah.
In
like, do you think Michael B did a good job as Killmonger?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of different, opinions about him. I thought he did pretty good.
I thought he did too.
But if you think somebody else could have played Killmonger, let us know in the comments. If you think somebody could have done better playing T'Challa, lay it out in the comments. I think it was also special too. I read a lot of articles. It was cool that they didn't mention anything about Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Which kept the world of Wakanda very exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no talk of Infinity War. Yeah. There was no talk really of Avengers or anything.
None of the key characters were in it at all either. So it just
kept the world really exclusive.
They kept it very controlled. It was a very controlled story, very controlled environment. They didn't have to distract us with anything else. Everyone was all in on Wakanda and all the drama going on there. So it was. I'm really glad. I don't know, man. It's just it blows my mind how well they put that together. They hit it on all cylinders.
If anybody has already seen it twice or more than twice, let us know.
Yeah.
Just you can put a high five or something if you've seen it already more than twice. I know we did. Probably gonna see it a third time. I think it gets better every time you watch it. Because the first time you watch it, I mean, it's just all the initial rush of the visuals and the story and just the reaction. Okay. All right.
Cook. I see you.
All right, Cook already seen it 3 times, so that's good. But hey, for those of you that
I agree, Roland. I'm thinking that too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the first Infinity War is probably going to take place in Wakanda in some format, and maybe he's going to try to get it from there. I don't know.
Shout out to Thomas Wilson, seen it twice. Yeah, keep adding to these numbers, man. I mean, this movie's making history. Better. It's the best opening solo film ever for Marvel. I mean, I'm sure they've already decided that it's already going to be a sequel, probably even a trilogy.
Yeah.
But definitely very, very cool that they didn't bring in no extra stuff, extra fluff. They kept Wakanda very exclusive.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, though. I've seen a lot of, shout out to Denise.
Hey.
She saw it with her whole family. It's definitely a family film.
Yeah.
I mean, the action isn't too violent or anything. I think a lot of cultural values, family values are depicted in this film. I think it's a great movie for the family. So if you ain't taking your family to see it, definitely go.
Right.
Everybody of all ethnicities can learn something from this film and at least be inspired in some kind of way from this film. And Wakanda Forever, man. You know what I'm saying?
All day. I think. Let me think. I'm trying to go into what could I. It's interesting hearing everybody talk about Killmonger, because I think the character development for him was probably the most gripping from what everybody else was saying, including myself. I like the ideology he kind of came from. He was just more of an extremist. He was an outsider, and he just had a more relatable view to a lot of African Americans that watch the film now. But it also it showed how they clash with just Africans in general that were born and raised there as well. Sometimes there's a conflict there as to who gets accepted, who doesn't get accepted, and just the whole being lost thing. It definitely had like a Professor X and Magneto kind of thing with
Absolutely.
it. You know, very extreme views on both sides. They depicted that very well.
Malcolm X, Martin Luther King,
exactly.
they know what they was doing. Coogler knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Shout out to Lamb.
Shout out to Lamb, Air Force. Man, I'm trying to tell you, the movie touched on a lot of serious issues that people have already know about or brought to light that they didn't know about, especially with the African Americans and the Africans and that issue we have in the black community with being accepted by the motherland. Some people say, a lot of African Americans say that Africans don't want nothing to do with us. And then there's a lot of African Americans that have been to Africa and say that's not entirely true. Yeah. But then there's also people who have came in contact with Africans who have also said that they talk down to African Americans. And I think Killmonger definitely resembled, the rage that African Americans have in America when it comes to being mistreated, being disenfranchised. You know the history of black people in this country. I think he did a very good job in showing up into Wakanda. While Wakanda's isolated in Africa, they're not worried about what everybody else is doing. Mans was Wakandan the whole time, but grew up in America, so he had that PTSD, so to speak, that post-traumatic stress. Dealing with all these black issues that America puts us through. And so coming into Wakanda, the man was fired up like, look, man, I'm going to take over this throne. I see you guys have all this advanced technology and weaponry. We're going to go ahead and run the world with this because it's about that time. And that's what the colonizers did to us over there. So now we're going to bring back the same kind of heat. So I know a lot of people was feeling that side of him. If you guys agreed with Killmonger, put up the thumbs up as a reaction. If you didn't agree with Killmonger, put the thumbs down. Maybe he was too radical for you. I always like the whole radical side of things, but I think it was good at the end. Of course, T'Challa brought it all back together. Yeah. On his Professor X, Martin Luther King, sort of standard and way to view things. And it's good that they, have that type of technology and help everybody out in the world, including the people that are from the motherland, like African Americans. Right. So I'm glad they touched on that issue.
I think another thing I see people talking about too is do they feel like they should have killed off Killmonger? I'm kind of conflicted on this. I do like that. I like to see a character come in very strong and leave with a good exit, kind of just the way he did.
Especially with that last line that he did, bury me in the ocean with my ancestors, because I'd rather, because my ancestors would rather die than live in bondage. I mean, that was a really
very powerful exit.
Last line.
So I'm not against them taking him out at that point, but it would have also it would have been nice to see him have that kind of relationship. Like he shows him mercy, he brings him back, he wants to rehabilitate him, he wants to assimilate him with Wakanda and
work with him.
You know what
I'm saying? Because he wasn't all the way wrong either.
Nah, there was a lot of validity to what he was talking about.
Yeah.
It would have cool to see him have kind of like a relationship the way maybe Loki and Thor have. They go back and forth. He basically has to keep cleaning up, Killmonger's messes and stuff. So, and I liked Claw too. What I didn't like about it was they really built up Claw's character as somewhat of a villain, just someone who's been around for a while. But then, I don't know. Then they just kill him off out of nowhere. I didn't think they were going to remove both of those characters in this movie. I thought they would keep at least one of them. I would have liked to see at least one of them survive through the first movie, because it's kind of like, where do they go from here? I know they got probably plenty of ideas, but it would have been cool to see them do something. I don't know.
I want to hear Claw's mixtape. If you want to hear Claw's, if you want to hear Claw's mixtape, put up the thumbs up if you want to hear Claw's mixtape. Because once he said he had a SoundCloud link, I was like, oh, hold up. Yeah. For the culture, I want to hear that, John. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's funny seeing everybody reach out trying to see stuff like that. But it was
Hey, okay, yeah. Somebody. Who else want to hear Claw's mixtape? The joint is probably fire, son.
yeah.
But I agree with you too, man. You know, I think it would have been healthy if they did keep Killmonger. What Roland said, he dies and gets revived multiple times in the comic. Yeah, that's true.
I did read about that.
Yeah, they do have ceremonies where they do revive
Ward, you crazy.
Killmonger. So that's absolutely in the cards moving forward.
Yeah.
But man, let's get down to the real deal. Let's talk about the women, man. The women in this film were absolutely incredible, bro. The fact that Wakanda had an all-women army to protect the throne.
Yeah, very strong.
I love the fact that all the women were very strong figures.
Exactly.
The women took no kind of BS from anybody outside of Wakanda or inside. The visual aspect, I mean, they didn't have no straight hair, no chemicals, nothing. It was shaved heads, it was kinks and curls.
Yep.
I mean, for the culture, man, I mean, they really depicted black women as just royalty, man. It was so dope. The fact that it was an all-women army. I love the fact Okoye, the general, man, she was off the hook.
She was probably my favorite character.
And I tell you this right now, Okoye killed it so bad, and Black Panther's doing so good. I think Michonne, it's a wrap for The Walking Dead. I think they're gonna try to wrap that up. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I'm not really feeling The Walking Dead like that anymore, anyway. But Michonne obviously was a part of that, and now Black Panther doing so good. I think they're gonna go ahead and slide to the left with that and keep going with Black Panther. Yeah. Shout out to TJ. Thomas Johnson, man, what's good, bruh?
Shout out to Cook. Get on that. To talk to your agent and try to get on for that next Black Panther movie, because I could definitely see you as part of the Dora Milaje.
Hey, shout out to DB. What's going on, man? What's going on, fam? Shout out to Good Boy Committee.
Yeah,
out there doing big things.
Big things,
man. Looking like a boss, smoking them cigars, man. That's the homie right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is a film that is something very exciting and something everybody should be excited about. I mean, even me, we both 32 years old now, and I feel like I'm just as inspired as all these young kids watching this film. I mean, growing up, I saw little Blade. Blade was incredible. That's another thing. Blade.
I know. A lot of people aren't talking about Blade a lot.
Blade. Hey, first off, let's give homage and respect to Blade and Wesley Snipes. Marvel Studios, Blade is what popped off the whole thing, the whole operation, Blade. So, shout out to Blade, shout out to the Daywalker, okay? Now,
put some respect
on his name, man. Put some respect on Blade's name, okay? The third one was trash, but the first and the second one, I both believe were classic, man. But growing up, we watched Blade. That was very inspirational, being, black men, young black men, and even just kids watching superheroes that are black. I mean, let's keep it real. Most of them that we see were usually, white or some sort of really, really light, bright complexion. But to have a film like this come out and all kinds of complexions of black people was just beautiful, man. And I think that's very inspiring for especially the young kids of this generation. They need to see they need to see grown and cultured African culture, and the fact that them and their greatness and their royalty as it was before it was colonized. That's a big thing they talked about in the production, was showing a very technologically advanced world that never faced colonization, as opposed to the rest of the continent of Africa. So the fact that they weren't influenced by any outsiders and how advanced they were, that was something that was very inspirational too. So kids can see, oh man, I want to be the Black Panther, man.
I want to go to Africa.
Right. I want to be a Dora Milaje warrior. Place. You know what I'm saying? What Ron said, he said Jay White should have had a role in Black Panther.
I agree.
Even Black Panther
himself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Oh yeah, Halloween about to be lit this year, man. It's gonna be Black Panther everything. You know
and Dora Milaje's running around.
Oh man, everywhere.
I can't wait to see the videos that come up for that.
Oh yeah,
and also for those amazing dance videos at like those premieres, man. God, there were some people out there killing it. Like, I don't know, man. I must have seen at least 30 videos where they just the choreography and just the vibrant colors and the dances. I mean, just the way the whole world just embraced it. It was beautiful.
Still embracing it too. If you guys wore any special garb, African garb, any kind of specific countries in Africa, or even of your own heritage and wore it to the film, put the thumbs up. I know I wore a dashiki. You know, my girl did too. And then we went there. We saw people in all kinds of different African garments. It was just a beautiful time. And also, what I noticed, what's it? She's talking about M'Baku.
Yeah. He low-key kind of stole the show, too. I thought he did an excellent job. What I do like about what they did with him, I know he's a big character moving forward, but they didn't reveal too much about him too early. They got a lot of backstory to develop for him in the upcoming movies. So,
and M'Baku was great for comic relief.
Exactly.
I thought him barking at
that part was fun.
The CIA agent was hilarious when he talked out of turn, especially in a royal sort of setting like that where he's the king over there. In his parts, he had no place to speak, and I don't know if even colonizers had any place to speak in the world of Wakanda. I thought that was real funny too. But you know, the hype is real. The hype is absolutely real for this film. I'm very excited to see where Marvel goes from here. They really set a very high standard for standalone films, but I mean, I'm not hating on other Avenger characters, but I don't think they have a story as rich as T'Challa and Wakanda. I don't see them being able to build a world and also a story like T'Challa has, taking over for T'Chaka, and then just the Dora Milaje and, Killmonger being an African American coming over there, still having exclusive rights to the throne because he's Wakanda, like all that drama, I don't know, it's very rich. I think the closest character to be anywhere near T'Challa is probably Thor's story, because Thor, his world with Asgard and Odin and all that, I think that's pretty rich too.
But they kind of mirror each other similarly.
Yeah, but I don't see any other. I mean, but hey, this is Disney. You can't sleep on Disney. Can't sleep on Marvel. Maybe the next movie will be even better. Maybe the next Avenger who gets their standalone. Maybe it'll be just as rich as this one. But I tell you, Wakanda and Black Panther, this film, it was a long time coming. A lot of people been waiting for it, especially black folk doing it for the culture, man. I know we all already ready for the second one, but let's keep celebrating this one. And
I think when I saw Logan, it was kind of like, that's when I kind of felt like it was it kind of leveled up. The movie's leveled up. It definitely had a more serious kind of, not necessarily relatable tone. Well, obviously Black Panther did, but with Logan, I just knew we're getting on another level now. These movies are starting to be more seriously themed, and I feel like Black Panther and Logan were kind of there in terms of like they're pushing the envelope a little bit. Where, like I said, where they go from here, I don't know. As long as they keep Ryan Coogler there taking care of those movies, everybody's good. It seems like everybody's on board to do another one. Everyone's real excited about the direction it's headed in. So I really think there's only like bigger themes going forward that I don't know. It's just exciting to see. Shout out to Henny.
Oh man, that's a great question, Henny. Yeah, he says someone posted that Killmonger was the second best villain since Heath Ledger, the Joker. What y'all think? I think it's kind of like apples and oranges, so to speak. I think they were both very good in their own right, and I'm not saying that, because I'm very upfront with when I make selections like that, but I do think it's kind of apples and oranges. I actually like Killmonger better because, I mean, let's keep it real. I relate with that dude.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't
That's
relate with a white dude that's
That's
dressed
what I
up
was
as a
gonna
clown
say.
and is insane in the Batman series. I relate to Killmonger, who was affiliated with by his dad, who was the uncle of the king, who was the brother of the king, and grew up in America, and he's real traumatized, very hurt from the history that him and his ancestors over here as African Americans dealt with and are dealing with in America. And so he going over there all turned up. Like I relate to that. So I think he did a better job portraying that in our reality with what's going on in America and bringing it to Wakanda. But that doesn't take anything away from Heath Ledger. I mean,
did his for what he was tasked to do, the lines he read, just the way he had to execute that character. I mean, everyone saw him. He went above and beyond what I'm sure even the directors were trying to do.
Now, that's the best Joker I've ever seen, period.
Yeah.
He's the best. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to topple him. But Heath Ledger definitely did his thing in the Dark Knight, right?
Yeah, it was
the Dark Knight. Yeah.
The Dark Knight.
Shout out to Nikki. But man, Black Panther, definitely go see it. You got anything? You got any other words?
Just it's great for the culture. Tell everybody you can about it if they haven't seen it already. Shout out to Norfleet. He said, "What is your perspectives on Killmonger's conversation with his day in the land of the ancestors?" I thought that was a really powerful scene too, when he was explaining to them how they think that him, basically the outsiders that were, the spies, so to speak, or just black people in general that are African Americans that didn't grow up in Wakanda, how they were lost. But I thought it was cool because it's like, it seems like whenever they wake up from the ancestral plane, that's like the conversation they have is like the underlying theme for what they're going to be portraying going forward, like what they're living for. And I don't know, I think in a way his dad kind of looked at him like, man, like my son is very, not necessarily lost, he seems very
radicalized.
Yeah, radicalized, he seems very what can I say? Committed to like what he's about to do. And when he said that, maybe they're the ones that lost, and that's why they can't find us.
Right. That was a very powerful
that's
line.
When Njobu was just like, man, this kid's deep. This kid's making a lot of sense. More sense than I could have made out of it. And just that whole conflict, it was just, man, how it's basically this whole sins of the father thing, where he had to clean up, T'Chaka's mistakes as far as leaving the kid behind, and that kind of manifested into what Killmonger was. It just was so it was just so deep, and they just portrayed it so well.
Roland said Roland says the Joker was a better villain because he was actually a villain. Killmonger wasn't. I actually disagree. Killmonger, I think, was definitely a villain. I think to the audience we relate to him, so maybe we don't think he's a villain. But I mean, I think to the kingdom of Wakanda, he's absolutely a villain. He was going to take the technology and then use it, send it to the war dogs, and then have them overthrow all the governments and take over the world. Like, it's almost like, Professor X and Magneto. Magneto is a villain, but it just kind of depends if you relate to his agenda or not. I absolutely relate to Killmonger's agenda, but I think when it relates to the story and the direction they're going, obviously Killmonger was trying to take over Wakanda and over the world using the vibranium technology. Man, shout out to Austin. Shout out to Austin Bogues, man. You be writing dope stuff, bro.
Right.
I be reading your articles, bro. Keep posting those, man. You be writing good stuff, bro.
Yeah, I'd say it's also interesting, too, as you get, like, when you're young, you look at the heroes for what they are, but you're not necessarily old enough to process, like, why they do the things that they do. But as you get older, all of a sudden, the villains or the antagonists, you start to slowly kind of relate to them. You understand their thought process and the conflicts they're dealing with, and obviously they're dealing with them in very extreme ways that you wouldn't necessarily go through with. Yeah, you definitely see where they're coming from.
Yeah, making that point, if you relate more to villains, put the thumbs up. If you relate, I'll put villain, right? Villain in the comments if you relate to villains more. If you relate more to the heroes, then write heroes. I think I relate more to villains for some reason. I don't know, maybe people just naturally like villains more. I know a lot of people that, gravitate towards heroes, but I would say villain. I would usually relate more to villains. What about you?
I don't know, man. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a villain, but
relate to the villains.
I can tend to relate to them more. I definitely agree with that. I do relate to villains more. I understand their struggles more too, because they're not necessarily like, even if you go to Spider-Man: Homecoming with the Vulture. He actually was a pretty good dude. He just didn't get the opportunities he wanted, and the ones he did, they got taken away from him. And he was forced to take things. Like, you're just like, man, I get where this guy's coming from. I wouldn't go that far, but I definitely understand why he would do what he did. So,
and also, I think something very special to touch on is Letitia Wright playing Shuri. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Shuri, yeah. The princess of Wakanda, obviously T'Challa's sister. Man, she did an amazing job, man.
I agree.
Being the head of technology for the vibranium and developing all his little weapons. Kind of like James Bond, but I think better. But man, she was just so cool. The way, she related and, just had that bond with T'Challa and just all her comic relief in the movie. I mean, dude, she was amazing. That was my, obviously, my girlfriend, Bodex. That was her favorite character. I'm sure a lot of young girls out there look up to Shuri being head of all the technology.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for her character too.
Absolutely.
Some people say she could get a suit. Some people say she teams up with Tony Stark. Like, there's just her character has potential for so much growth moving forward too. So they did an excellent job with her. And shout out to Brandis, Kiss JoJo for me.
Oh yeah. Kiss JoJo for us, man. That's the prince right there. That's the young prince. But hey, who got scared when Killmonger was about to kill Shuri?
I did.
Oh man, I was gasping, bro. I was like, oh, bro, I can't deal with this, man, because she was so cool. Yeah. I was like, please don't. Marvel already took away Yondu.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Guardians. I was like, please don't kill off the princess, please. And obviously, she lived, so I was so relieved. My girlfriend, she was also holding her breath too, because dude, I gasped, man. I was like, please don't, because she was dope, man, and she's gonna be a very, very huge asset to the story moving forward, as she is even in the comic books. Huge character. Kyle said he was scared too. Good, I knew I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, and I see what Fleet's talking about as far as having that conflict with just black men in general. Just what side do you kind of go with? You can either go as far as playing within just that you have the radicalized way that Killmonger thinks in terms of, or extremist I should say, in terms of like how he wants to liberate our people and everything. But that and that's the way a lot of I'm sure a lot of African American men feel that are oppressed, and just those urges you have, and you see the injustices, and you would love to do something about it if you could, but then the other side of you just have to play your role in terms of living your life, and understand that those things are wrong and speaking out, but not going to those extremes that he did. Just there are a lot of internal conflicts with a lot of black men watching that too, so I definitely agree with that.
They definitely, and them addressing that was huge. Just the black man, obviously having a duality of understanding with doing the right thing and doing the right thing in essentially the wrong way. But, let's keep it real. The ancestors of America, that's what they did, coming here, taking over everything. So why can't we do the same thing? Especially in the museum, too. I like the way they introduced Killmonger
that was a good
in the museum, and breaking down the science of all the artifacts there, knowing they weren't made there. They're obviously made from Wakanda and all those other places in Africa, and yet the lady was like, that stuff's not for sale.
Right.
What do you mean they not for sale? They weren't even made here. They were taken. So, man, Coogler knows exactly what he's doing, writing all that stuff, man. That guy's a genius, man. I would. Who was your favorite character?
I liked, I don't know, man. Everybody was so good.
Everybody was dope, man.
Was so good.
You know what I mean?
I really don't know. I really liked, I liked Shuri too, man.
Shuri was dope,
I really
man.
liked
I
Shuri,
loved her, man.
I liked her. But
who was y'all's favorite character? Hold on.
We haven't even talked about Nakia yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was y'all's favorite character? Was it Shuri? Was it Nakia? Because she was amazing.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to her. Was it T'Challa? Was it Killmonger? You know what I'm saying? Was it Claw? Because I thought he was funny as hell. Who was y'all's favorite character in the Black Panther film? Okoye, yeah, she was dope too, man.
Yeah, she was
dude.
great.
That scene in the little casino, man, she was up, man, with
Yeah,
that little staff.
I like when she threw the wig too. That was good.
Yeah, when she threw the wig, she's like, I can't be wearing that.
I can't be wearing that.
That was really cool, man. But yeah, Nakia, man, she was definitely like one of the most special characters in the film because she was Wakandan, but yet she was already doing the work that T'Challa eventually realized later that he should be doing. But
and,
obviously,
in theory, she kind of lines up with Eric in that sense. Eric Killmonger, even though he's very extreme with how he wants to do things, she could be she kind of had a more thought out way of trying to get Wakanda to open up its technology and its culture to the world. But obviously Eric was so torn by everything he had been through growing up and seeing all the oppression that obviously he had his own reason for wanting to do what he did. But
Nakia was amazing. She was very, very important character. She definitely influenced T'Challa to like really open up and give the secrets and the technology of vibranium to the world because people need it, especially people that look like us, black people, especially in America and all the other countries that surrounded Wakanda.
Yeah.
She was doing that work way before T'Challa actually realized it, which was very powerful because in the end, she was right the whole time and at his side talking that, but obviously being of royalty, there's a greater magnitude of the way he makes his decisions, you know what I'm saying? So I can see why he was conflicted saying, I'm not king of all the other countries, I'm king of Wakanda. I'm not king of the world, I'm king of Wakanda, so.
I thought it would have been cool if she got if she ate the herb too, the flower. I thought that would have been interesting because she is very. I would have liked to see.
And the queen asked her.
Yeah,
she's like, you should have a flower.
I thought she might do it. I thought she might do it. I thought that would have been really cool if they did that. Because there's a lot of potential for her, with her skills and stuff too. But just seeing a lot of powerful black women like that, just portraying very strong roles, and there were no men in the army. It was all female.
Man, the women in this movie were incredible, man. I ain't never seen women depicted like this ever in my life. Just like Henny said, and Norfleet, man. I mean, Okoye and the Dora Milaje, dude, it didn't matter who was in that throne. They were not flinching. And she was like crying because she's like, look, I don't want to do this.
This is the wrong guy, but
I'm loyal. Like, I'm not going nowhere. Like, I don't care who in the seat. I'm loyal to the seat. I ain't loyal to whoever's sitting in it. Like, it was just, they had such conviction and just loyalty, man. Like, but that's so inspirational. Like, we got a lot that we could learn from this, man. Okoye was, she definitely was really a dope character, man. Shout out to Adam Ballas. That's the homie right there. He said the general was a boss. She was a great character. I love the guard she commands. The Dora Milaje. Whole movie was great. Man, I mean, go see it again. Everybody should go see it again, man.
Yeah.
Was anything else happen in that film?
Man, what did
I like at the end, that was huge too. Buying the block. T'Challa was like, I bought this whole building because my uncle died in it, and made that an outreach center. T'Challa, man, I'm telling you, man, like just the way they started making him realize the responsibility of the power he has that can do good, and not holding it hostage. I like the way he went back to the ancestors and told all of them, like, you guys were wrong. That was a huge scene too, man.
Yeah, that might have been one of my favorite scenes too, when he was kind of taking ownership of,
the sins of the father. The sins of the father. He got to clean it all up.
I can't die. I can't come with you guys right now. You made a huge mistake that I got to correct that mistake. So I got to go back and. Man, just the story, the character development, the story development, it was just definitely pushed this whole thing forward with how Marvel's going to do things going forward. It was just amazing to watch, man.
Nikki said, "What's up, Nikki?" She said, "Did Killmonger destroy the flowers to escape from confronting his past and fears going forward?"
I don't know.
What do you
Honestly,
think?
I'm not sure. I kind of just looked at it from. I mean, I think.
I think from a strategic standpoint,
Yeah,
he didn't want nobody
any
coming up behind him.
competition. Number one, yeah, and then I think part of it too. I think he was just very angry, probably when he woke up, and he's just like, I don't know. It's just weird because it's like he wants to be a part of it, but he wants to like remove a lot of it too because he's in control and he wants to. I don't know. I don't know, man. He just seems so conflicted in a lot of different ways, man. It was, yeah. Good point about the soundtrack, too.
Yeah, the soundtrack's doing amazing.
It was excellent.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. What Northfleet said, like strategically, him being in special forces, like that's what they go in there.
Destabilize.
They go in there, they destabilize the government. Mm-hmm. They take away all their resources. Obviously the flower would pose, the flower garden posed probably the biggest threat because nobody could challenge the throne if they don't have that because they won't have the power that he has. Mm-hmm. But, of course, Nakia, being the down chick she is for T'Challa, went ahead and snuck one out before they burned the joint. Man, there was just so much discussion in this film from so many different angles, like, relationships, Killmonger, would he have even been a good king? The fact that he was putting his hands on women when women are so respected in Wakanda, yet he coming over there, obviously coming from America, he wasn't, really raised in the culture, but he up there choking that, the lady that's in charge of the flower garden and, you know what I'm saying, killing the Dora Milaje women, like, I mean, Wakanda thrived on respecting women, let alone most of the women there protected Wakanda anyway. That all these different issues were.
He was driven though, man.
The man was just, man was throne thirsty, bro.
He did choke his auntie. That was messed up.
Yeah, you can't be choking your aunt, man. Don't do that, man. That was a funny scene though when he said, "Hey, auntie." That was funny.
Yeah.
Did anybody peep that? Remember in the beginning when they explained how the vibranium worked and the vibranium spread through all of nature and the animals. But I thought that was interesting that, when everybody put the lip down, that it was shining because I guess the vibranium is like in their DNA since they were born there. It's like shining in them. So when they like put the lip down, you could see like the blue. Showing that, obviously they got vibranium in them, you know what I mean? So I thought that was kind of cool too. Shout out to Lindsay. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
I still hate the Eagles, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna talk about them right now, them Bamas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Trying to think what else. I see a lot of different theories going around. Would you, if they did like spin-off movies, like what spin-off movie would you want to see? I did read something about Nakia. People would want to see more of like her different missions, like the different things she was doing for Wakanda, like outside of the country. Like, that would be interesting because her character is very, there's a lot of potential there for her character as well.
I also saw a petition for people, they want to see a Netflix series of Wakanda before T'Challa took place. So when T'Chaka was king, what was going on there? What happened when they found the vibranium? How did everything get started? Like, people got so many questions, and there's so many ways they can show, make a series to break down so many chapters of Wakanda as an empire from the beginning all the way up to now when T'Challa's king. Like, people are hungry for Wakanda.
Right.
They just hungry for it. They want to see all the different shades. They want to see all the different events through history of what Wakanda has done and the people that, have come up, all the different Black Panthers that have been chosen to be king and defend Wakanda, because obviously T'Challa's not the only one. T'Chaka's not the only one. But, people are real hungry. They want more of that culture. They want to see more of that. I mean, I've never seen a film that made me feel that way before.
Yeah, and I also saw there was, they were talking about like Easter eggs as far as like, T'Challa's mom, Angela Bassett having the white hair. Which relates to Aurora and Storm. I guess her and she might be part of the tribe that her mom, that T'Challa's mom was a part of. They said that might have been a little Easter egg in there that people could have noticed. I'm curious how they might try to weave that in there now that, X-Men, I think, is now part of Marvel Studios now, or they bought something with it. They might be able to make that connection now, which I think a lot of people would like to see. And obviously the biggest question is, where does Nakia fall into all this? Because, everyone knows that they end up together eventually. So whatever happens to Nakia, you know,
and
does she become a villain? I don't know.
And they look so beautiful together. Like after seeing Nakia with T'Challa, I don't really want Storm to come into the picture. Even though we already know that's going to happen at some point if they decide to reveal that kind of part of the... I mean, that's a huge part of essentially comic book history is Storm and Black Panther getting married. But I like Nakia with T'Challa, man. I'm not sure if I'm ready to see all that, man. The soundtrack was amazing for the film. I was up in there Shazamming every damn song I was hearing the second time I watched the movie because the soundtrack was amazing, visuals, the script. Not too much. I don't know. What didn't you like about the movie? Was there anything?
Not really. Like I said, if I had to reach, it's only because I don't know why they killed off Claw and Eric Killmonger.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, keep one of them. I think. Like, I'm not sure. Like, you know, what they plan to do as far. I mean, of course they have a plethora of villains they could grab, but I just thought killing both of them just didn't make sense to me.
I mean, to keep it funky, I thought Killmonger was a little too intense. I think they could have been, with his lines and his delivery, I think he could have chilled out a little bit at certain parts.
Yeah, we get he was angry. We get
he was angry. I get it, but I would have liked to see just a little bit of range, him dial it down a little bit so he could communicate what exactly he was trying to do a little bit more. You know what I mean? He was just so turned up. I think when he delivered some of his lines, they just didn't really stick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Did anybody else feel like that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not totally sure, but I was still mad they killed him off and Claw. I'd rather they've kept one of them, especially Killmonger. But like we said before, he could be resurrected.
They do resurrect
in the culture they can resurrect people with their the magic and the
and like I said,
shadow physics.
And even at the end, honestly, I thought the guy coming out the hut at the end, I thought it was going to be Eric Killmonger. Yeah. Of course it was Bucky, and I was a little disappointed, but I actually thought that would have been cool if that was Killmonger that came out of the hut instead of Bucky. I thought that would have been kind of cool.
But really, the movie was beautiful. Like I was tearing up. I was talking to my girlfriend about it because she was too. I was tearing up in that movie, man. I've never seen anything that beautiful and been so excited. Like I felt like a little kid again. So I could only imagine having a brain of a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old or an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old. You know, the way their imagination just fires. I felt like a kid again. So I couldn't even imagine how they were feeling and just being inspired by the visuals and just everything, the music, the culture, the fight scenes were legit. Right. And then just all the black people on the screen. I mean, let's keep it 100. Like, most superhero movies we see, it's usually a bunch of white people with a couple of different minorities up there. The fact that they flipped it and it was majority minority and the majority was the minority now. Especially with, obviously, the two Lord of the Rings guys in there, Claw, and then the other guy who played Frodo. Was it Frodo or not Frodo?
No, it was Bilbo.
Bilbo, you know what I'm saying? They both did great jobs too, but I just like the way they, flipped that whole script in terms of how the movie's depicted and receiving it, it being majority minority was just a huge deal, from the children all the way up to the old folk. Yeah, a lot of people say Killmonger was keeping it 100, and I agree. I think a lot of Americans are just going to gravitate towards Killmonger because I think he was validated for feeling the way he did. I think he could have been a little smarter how he was going to do things. Yeah, but he wasn't very diplomatic. He wasn't trained like that. He wasn't raised like that. You know what I mean? He was trained to take over, to take everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he was the way he was.
Yeah, and I think one thing that what was I gonna say about that? It was something to do with Claw. I don't know. It just didn't make sense that they took him out. Yeah. For how hard he came into the movie, like he was funny. There was so much to his character, and then just out of nowhere they just kill him off.
And we didn't even get to hear the mixtape.
Yeah, we didn't.
I want to hear the mixtape.
I did want to hear that mixtape. They gassed it up.
Shout out to Lulu. That's a great point, man. Because I was saying something about Eric Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan being extra with his lines, but that's true because you're not, especially as an actor, let's keep it real, jumping into a villain role, you want to make it very clear that you're the villain now. You're not like the hero. You know what I'm saying? You usually play the hero in other films, but now you being the villain, so you might need to be a little extra. So I think, that is a great point, man. Mm-hmm. That is a great point.
Loved his suit too.
Yeah, that Jaguar suit.
Oh man, that was amazing. I love that suit. Which kind of leads me to wonder what if T'Challa did choose that thing? That would have been kind of cool. Is his suit gonna change in Infinity War? I don't know. But the whole effect with the purple and everything, it was beautiful.
It was fire, man. Yeah. Just fire. Mm-hmm. What? Anything else, bro? We already know it's gonna be a Black Panther 2, so I'm already waiting for that. I don't care if it's 3 years, 5 years, bro. I'm sitting tight. I'm ready. Just getting ready for this Infinity War, and then real excited to see. What else Ryan Coogler is going to touch, man? They given, the fact Coogler killed it in the production phase of, writing it and hiring the right people and hiring all these black folk that, put the costumes together and the script and even the score. Ludwig, I know he was this white guy that composed and put together the album. For the soundtrack, but he brought in all authentic drummers from Senegal, from South Africa, and put that, an amazing studio session together to produce that kind of soundtrack. I'm really excited to see what Coogler is going to do. Obviously with Michael B. Jordan, they might be the new Scorsese and De Niro. I'm hearing that. They killing it with whatever they touch, and
I always thought, I did read something that was, it was just random stuff fans were talking about and asking if, what if Heimdall from Thor was from, Wakanda 2 or something?
Yeah,
that would
a
actually
reach.
be, if he ever just dipped his lip and you saw the thing there, I think everybody would just be like, oh, snap, that'd be crazy. Because he is the only brother over there anyway, so, how did he get there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the movie is just obviously open up all kinds of doors now. Pandora boxes all over the place. I mean, moving forward, even in the business, like I stated stated earlier, these big studios are going to take chances on people of color running around managing multi-million-dollar projects, because now it was an all-black production essentially, and they made their money back tenfold. They never knew they probably never thought it was going to be this big, but that just shows you, supply and demand. The demand was high for the culture that we wanted something, for us and that represented us, but also everybody could relate to. Man, they just hit it on the nail, bro.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that the Infinity War will have a bigger opening weekend than Black Panther?
I don't know.
It's I get it. I mean, it's I put my money on Infinity War, but there was so much more that tied into the gross of the first weekend, the cultural aspect of it. There's a connection to this movie that I don't think everyone's gonna have with Infinity War. So that's why I'm not really sure. I think so, but I don't know. It'd be interesting.
I don't think it's gonna put up initial numbers like Black Panther. I think Black Panther is gonna do better on the first and second week than Infinity War. I think over time, Avengers Infinity War might make more, but there was an emotional.
There's a lot more driving.
Yeah, there was an emotional connection with this film too. People have been waiting for, and they're driving them even back. People want to watch the movie again just to give more money,
and they want to feel that connection again. The first time, because when you watch it the first time, it's just everything's hitting you at once. But the second, the third, the fourth time, the movie starts to slow down. You start to enjoy the scenes more, the lines, the character development.
Watch it the second and the third time, it gets more beautiful. You just get to catch everything you miss, everything. You can digest stuff a lot easier. It was just how beautiful the movie is. Mm-hmm. They spoke a really old South African language down there too. The language of Wakanda was actually a real South African language. I forget what it was. I mean, dude, they put the Pan-African depictions they did with the dresses at the casino. Mm-hmm. Koye obviously had the red, Nakia had the green, T'Challa had the black. Mm-hmm. They did it again in the beginning when they came off the ship with the Dora Milaje being in the red. Nakia had the green hood on, and then Black Panther obviously had the old Black Panther suit. So I mean, there's all kind of
Like
just gems
underlying
in there,
themes
man.
with that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. But I don't think I agree with Lulu. I don't think the Infinity War is going to bring that sort of drive to this theater, make the audience drive to the theater and watch it. There's just not enough. Or Infinity War, there's not that emotional and cultural attachment. I just don't see it. But
it's I don't know. It's like it's kind of it's a gift and a curse almost, because it's like Black Panther kind of. It set this kind of standard, like after you watch Infinity War, you're going to feel like full, you know what I mean? Are you going to feel this? People want to feel connections to movies now. I don't know if you're not going to get that with Infinity War, so you might even leave that movie kind of like, okay. Like,
I don't know, but
what else?
Disney having a tie into this, I think, was huge, because I got a real like Lion King kind of feel from this Black Panther film. You don't get all this Lion King feel. That's why I'm saying. That's why I think the story of Wakanda and Black Panther is so rich. I don't think other films are going to compete with this kind of story. And it just had this Lion King, Disney feel. If y'all, I don't know if y'all feel me on that, but I really felt that, Mufasa with the king and Simba and all that. I think people have really kind of resonated with that a little bit with this film. So that's how everybody could make a connection. And I still think Disney had some sort of production direction in that to make it look like that. And I think Coogler obviously knew what he was doing, putting it all together too, man. Yeah. But amazing film, man. We just wanted to chop it up with y'all for a little bit. Yeah. It's actually a lot longer than we thought, but a lot of people, communicating with us. And, a lot of people are still real excited about the film. And honestly, I think this Black Panther wave, I don't think it's going away.
I don't think so.
I think a lot of the culture, a lot of black people, so to speak. I mean, this Wakanda Forever, I think it's here to stay. I don't think it's going to phase off. Like, some movies really pop off and it's, a trend and then it goes away. I really, I adopted.
Wakanda's it's a place, it's a culture, it's a
lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. It's just something everyone from, any kind of African descent can buy into. So we all we all represent that together, and there is no separation.
Wakanda is it's a lifestyle. It's a mentality. I think it makes us all want to be better. It makes us all want to treat straight up as men, treat women better, and know what they're capable
as,
of.
Higher roles, and they're strong, and like we said earlier,
they've always been.
Yeah, the kids, they want to go to Africa now. They want to see these places. They
want to wear
the clothes. They want to be vibrant. They have questions about where they come from. And it just everyone's asking the right questions.
Yeah,
this movie did so much more than I'm sure they thought was going to happen. So.
And then all the little girls, man. Wakanda is woo! He said Wakanda is a standard. Yes, man, stamp. That's what I'm talking about. Wakanda is a standard, man. It's a lifestyle mentality. I think we should all watch that movie and take away that and internalize it moving forward, saying, hey, I know, we're not in some kind of movie or whatever, in some, Afro-futuristic sort of condition we live in, but we can adopt those values that they followed and carry it and manifest it into where we're at now.
Right.
Treating our women better, respecting them for what they are and the power that they have always possessed, treating culture very seriously, trying to get in contact and try to, learn more about the culture that we have all the way back in Africa, respectively, because it's, it's a huge continent. But, just getting more in touch with the roots, it made you proud to actually have your ancestors be from there, and they depict it. It pulls so many strings, man. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and if you only saw it once, and I'm just speaking for anyone, maybe even if you saw it twice and you're only seeing the movie for a very straightforward story about, a king who's got he gets, given the throne and, someone comes in and tries to take it. If you just see it from a very just kind of one-dimensional perspective, man, go see it again. Have some conversations with some people, because there was so much going on in this movie that, you know, we could take away from this. I mean, we could talk for hours about this
hours,
movie.
days.
You know, and if you just see it as just a very simple movie, okay, we're moving on to.
And let's talk about that too. Yeah, let's talk about that too. There'll be a lot of trolls out there trying to hate on this movie too, talking about, oh, it's overhyped. Oh, I mean, there's always going to be trolls. Yeah. But y'all are straight up hating on it. Like, oh, Infinity War is going to smash Black Panther, and try to, like, discredit the film. And, you know, it's crazy how, like, when black people put something good together, a lot of people try to break it down and tear it down. It makes no sense to me. Like,
or the people that were critical, I saw just, you know, even black people being critical of other black people.
Yeah, man, wearing African garb and being excited about wearing cultural clothing and just being excited for a film like this. Like, a lot, but, you know, that goes, you know, it just shows that there's always going to be trolls of every kind of situation. Yo, Sergeant Dan's look crazy, man. They colonizers. But I'm saying, like, it's just sad that we have people that try to downplay such a movement like this. But I think people need to fall in line and understand the movie's not going anywhere. It's only been out 2 weeks. Second best opening of any movie in history. Okay, it's made $700 million worldwide. It's going to hit $1 billion.
I think it's third all time too now. I think it passed The Last Jedi now.
Oh yeah, it definitely passed The Last Jedi. It's going to hit $1 billion. The trolls out there, if you're coming in contact with these trolls, look, it's like Jay-Z said, numbers don't lie. Check the scoreboard.
I want the throne too, Captain.
Hey, I want the throne. Hey, Captain, you know you already on the throne with your big ass.
That's true.
But yo, the numbers don't lie. Check the scoreboard. This is a movement. This ain't just a movie. It's a movement. Believe the hype. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you've seen it, seeing it again. Watch it again. Sorry. Just so much to be excited about, man.
Right.
You got anything else?
Not really. Just, you know, everybody go see that movie for a third time. You know, I've seen it twice with Philip.
Be proud of the movie.
Yeah, be proud. Like,
this movie made me very proud.
Don't be afraid to talk about the movie. Be proud about it. And keep talking to people about like the themes that it portrayed and it gave out. Because if you're not talking about these things, like this movie's made to drive conversation as well. Make sure you're
issues
you're doing
within
that.
The black community.
Right.
I mean, I've had conversations with some white people and people who aren't black. Oh, can I see the film? Am I going to understand it? First off, you don't got to ask nobody to see a film.
Right.
But the movie is very welcoming. It's open. Everybody can get something from this and have a conversation with someone, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, like Alvin said, you definitely hit on the nail, man. This movie drives conversation. Watch the movie. Definitely a great conversation starter. You know what I'm saying? Close some gaps.
Engage the youth. Talk to the kids about it. Like, that's what I like to. I want to talk to more kids about
what did
the
they
movie.
get
like,
from it?
The middle schoolers and the elementary school kids. Like, does that make them want to go see African?
I actually educate as a job at-risk youth, and man, they love the movie, man. This Black Panther dude is dope, man. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, before they even watched it, they was all on Iron Man and Captain America and this and that. They never even heard of Black Panther. But a lot of people aren't blurs or people of color or anybody that's really into comic books. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, hey, the Black Panther's real. I'm telling you, you need to check out this film, man. Right. And then it blew the whole world.
They're like, I didn't know.
Yeah, oh man, I didn't know. Yo, that's dope, man. Yo, Africa, man, I'm trying to get on the throne. You feel me? Like, I mean, like the youth are very inspired by this. They're really excited too, man. So it's just a great time to be alive, man, and see movies like this, man. They need to keep it going in Hollywood, giving more minorities big production investments and money so that they can put good projects like this together and take chances on people of color to produce stuff like this, man, because they can do it. I remember back when they was hating on black leads and saying that they couldn't a black lead couldn't sell multi-million-dollar projects, and then Denzel was doing it all over the world, and now they're hitting people over the head again with this, like hitting everybody all over the world with this, man. So this is huge, man. This is real good, man.
Yeah.
Captain said he on Team Black Panther now, man. That's what's up, man. And yeah, he was hardcore Captain America too. Captain America's dope too. Come on now, like let's not you know what I'm saying. Let's not hate on all the other Avengers, but we talking about T'Challa right now. You know what I'm saying? Son of T'Chaka. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So hail to the king. You know what I'm saying? Great conversation, y'all. Like TJ said, Wakanda forever, man. You know what I'm saying? Wakanda forever. You know what I mean? Thanks to everybody for talking with us and everything, man.
Yeah, we're hoping to post more stuff soon.
Yeah. Follow us on IG, the Tondereau Twins.
Yeah,
Follow us.
I know we've been kind of slow on that, but we've had, just
a lot going
of
on.
Stuff going
but
on,
we back now. We're going to be posting on the regular. Definitely follow us. We're going to be doing plenty of movie reviews and just a whole bunch of other nonsense, talking about politics, sports, whatever we want, goofing around. So follow us on IG, making our YouTube page tonight, man. So definitely follow us on YouTube and IG at Tondereau Twins. Love you too, Captain. Hold it down, man. Keep staying big, bro. Wakanda forever. All right, y'all?
All right.
Peace.